Yeah, I think just the program in general. Like, Coach D is a great coach, but, just going to practice every day, playing against guys that score in first round, playing against guys that are really good at what they do. And, me having to do my A game every single day. So the biggest thing for me, transferring from Houston to Miami, is having to earn the respect of everybody on the team. So I'm going to come in, work hard every single day, and earn the respect by my play.
If you had like a validating moment that kind of shows you, hey, I made the right move, this is something that I've done to help myself and further my career.
Yeah, so, coming from Houston to Miami's every game is on the note. ABC, big time TV, big time games every Saturday. And, as a kid, you dream of playing those big games. Playing at Clemson, playing at Alabama, playing at Virginia Tech, all those big time teams every single weekend. So I think that was the big reason I came. I think it's showing.
Derek, there's a lot of.
How much do you think the experience of you guys playing at Clemson last year can help you guys when you return all this experience, when you have a top matchup against Alabama to open the year, and then obviously you guys want to compete more after that?
Yeah, I think it can help. I think we're one of the most experienced teams in the country. Everybody decided to come back besides a couple guys. And, playing a big time game week one, in Atlanta, in front of however thousands of people, I think we'll be ready for it. We all played in big time games in our career, played in front of large crowds. So it's just about us going out there and doing it.
Derek, there's a lot of.
What can you take from a matchup like that that'll help you the next time that you guys go against Alabama?
Yeah, obviously Clemson is one of the best programs in the country. So playing at Clemson last year, playing against one of the best head coaches, best teams, good prepared for Alabama. Just been a game like that already. Playing against the Trevor Lawrence's and the good defense they have and all that, get prepared for the Alabama game coming up.
Derek, there's a lot of quarterbacks. Derek, there's a lot of quarterbacks that are back in the league, 13 out of 14 that have starting experience. You're one of the highest profile. Sam Howell, how much do you pay attention to what other guys and like Sam Howell are doing? And what there's a lot of talent back at under center.
I don't really pay attention to other guys, but I've been with those guys a lot this summer. We all was together in LA, Steve Clarkson camp. We just got back from the Peyton Manning camp in New Orleans, Thibodaux, Louisiana. So I've been with those guys, had a few conversations with them. At the end of the day, I try to focus on my game. Sam's a really good quarterback. Boston College is a really good quarterback. All these guys are pretty good, but like I said, I try to focus on my game, focus on my team.
Derek, you talked about the NIL and helping your teammates. Can you expound on why it's so important for you to help your teammates?
Man, I think football is a team game already. So the whole NIL thing, like my most important thing, is not for me to make as much money as possible. It's to help as many people as I can. So my teammates are a big deal to me. Being a starting quarterback in Miami, I want everybody to do well. Whether that's the third string, backup, deep snapper, or starting receiver, I want everybody to have the same opportunity. And any way I can help that, I'll do it. So.
You talked about your relationship with Mackenzie Milton. What would it mean to see him? You see him play, obviously. What would it mean to see him come back this year with all the stuff he's gone through, being play again this year?
Man, it'd be huge. Me and Mackenzie have a really good relationship. We talk a lot. He just, going through, obviously his injuries way worse than mine, but going through injuries together back in 2018 to now, it'll be awesome to see him back on his feet, making plays like he used to do. So I'm really for it.
Do you have any personal goals heading into the season?
Personal goals? I like to say, man, all the personal goals go to the team. So I think we win as many games as possible. Everything else take care of itself. I'm not really focused on highs or whatever. I'm just focused on winning.
How would you take it as far as being a leader, stepping up your leadership game, knowing that you are not here as far as quarterback?
Yeah, I think last year, when I first came, the whole COVID happened, so I didn't have a lot of time with my guys, right? It was just small groups of workouts and right into the season. The whole off season wasn't what I wanted it to be, and this year having a full off season, I think it's a different connection. I'm the type of guy, I like to know everything about you. I want to know how you was raised, how many siblings you got, how you grew up, and I think that's a better connection than anything you have on the football field. So this offseason I try to do that, try to get to know everybody in a deeper way. What makes them go? Like, if their mom and dad, the driving factor, will go every single day. So that's what I try to do this offseason. I think it's working out pretty good.
What's the most thing to come back from that injury? What have been the challenges and where are you now?
Yeah, I feel pretty good right now. I'm still taking it day by day. ACL is a different injury, right? So some guys come back 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, whatever. But I think as far as difficulty, obviously the physical part, but I think a lot of people understand the mental part as well. Rehabbing every single day, sometimes twice a day, and just having to push through it. Like a lot of people see you run it again or squat, but they don't understand what it took to get there. They don't understand, as soon as you get picked up in the hospital, you go straight to rehab. Rehabbing twice a day for 5 months straight, it can take a toll of you eventually. But I think you have people behind you that's driving. You have your teammates that you want to play for. I think that's what kind of pushed me through. You got to the point right now.
Where will you be when camp starts? How active and how much participation?
I'll be fully active. So every
100. You be 100%.
Yeah, I'm a practice 100%. I don't get hit in practice, right? So, doing all the normal practice, I'm doing 100% activity. Right?
Do you expect to get hit before? I mean, when do you think you'll be able to take those hits and be ready for example?
I'm trying to take them down, but they won't let that happen. But I'll be ready for sure.
I'm sure in a normal off season, you would have some things you wanted to work on personally to get better from even as good as how you did the previous year. Obviously, that wasn't the case this year. So I guess how do you kind of, how does that kind of affect your mindset, knowing you didn't have that off season to maybe improve on this or that?
I think I had to focus on different things, right? So whether I couldn't do anything physical for a while, so I couldn't go back there and take a 3-step drop and throw the ball. I had to get better at watching tape. I had to get better at doing all the stuff that you do during the season, as far as watching your opponent and picking out what you see. I had to get better at that. And then whenever I got back on my feet, I was going everything normal. I could take a 3-step drop, 5-step drop a couple months ago. So as far as getting timing down with my receivers and throwing in my tight ends or going to the back of the backfield, I've been able to get all that. So
what's the most important thing you want people to know about you?
About me?
Yeah.
That's a tough question. I think that I'm a God-fearing dude, right? So a lot of people, they see what they see on social media and this and that, NIL or whatever. But I think the most important thing to me is my faith, my family, and I absolutely love God first and my family more than anything. I can sit on FaceTime with my family for hours and just talk to them every single day, right? So any chance I get to go home, and I think it's the best times that I have. Now, I cherish those moments. Losing my dad last year it kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things. Like everybody's not here forever, so I try to take those moments and soak them in.
Press conference yesterday, it came out Alabama's quarterback has gotten close to $1 million in endorsements. Your thoughts about playing against the quarterback on the other side with that?
Good for him. I'm happy for him. Like I said, I want everybody to make as much money as possible. If that's true, you made almost $1 million. That's pretty good. So I'm happy for him.
Gary, what's been the message when it comes to vaccinations and players in the team? And you guys talked about it a little bit. What kind of you need to do maybe to make sure you're 100% healthy when you guys go on the field?
Yeah, so obviously it was up to each individual player. Nobody was forced to get it or not get it, but we had the resources to get it if we wanted to. And I think a lot of us didn't get the vaccination just because we don't want to miss games or have to deal with getting tested 3 times a week and having to worry about, I hope I can play this Saturday. So a lot of us decided to get it, but it's, at the end of the day, it's up to you. If you want to get it, get it. If you don't, you don't have to get it.
As a team captain, would you encourage teammates? Have you encouraged teammates to say that this could affect everybody if you don't? Or you said it.
I think we have those conversations, but I don't want to say I encourage a person to go one way or the other. Like I said, people have different beliefs. Me personally, I don't want to see my mom, she's not going to catch it. I don't want to not get it and potentially give her COVID. So I think everybody has different reasons to get the vaccine or not get the vaccine. My biggest thing was not to hurt anybody else after the game. So that's what we kind of spread through. Like I said, a bunch of us hasn't gotten the vaccine, so that's a good deal.
Dear, the whole NIL conversation can be a bit overwhelming. I mean, it's the first time that it's coming out for a lot of these athletes. It's been talked about for a long time, but you seem like you have such a good head on your shoulders with the entire topic. And I know that that's not very common, so I wondered where that kind of came from. Were there people that were talking to you about it, like, hey, if this goes down, here's a good way to do it? Because, I mean, it's even beyond deals. Obviously, we talk about you and Mackenzie getting the Dream Field thing up and trying to help other athletes as well. So how did you get to this point where you had this kind of mindset about everything that was going on with it?
I think, like you say, it can get overwhelming, right? So, like a lot of guys would, just take any deal, any kind of money they throw at you, they'll take it. But for me personally, I want, to work with people that have the same core values as me. Like College Hunks, one of the companies I signed with, both graduates from the University of Miami, really good dudes, and they believe in the same thing I believe in. And, I wanted to have deals that would last a lifetime, not just last 6 months. I wanted to work with good people, good companies, and people that I can just, like vibe with. So my thing was to kind of be in front of it and just be prepared for it. Like me and Mackenzie co-founding Dreamfield, the company, it's huge because they give us ownership. And I didn't want to just go, work for people and do this and that. I wanted to kind of be a leader of it. So,
Do you feel like it's kind of giving you a baseline for knowing that if you make it to the next level, you're going to have a lot more things that you can get involved in? Do you think it's giving yourself a new perspective on the business side of the game of football?
Yeah, absolutely. I tell people this all the time. Like, you play any college sports, like you play for 4 or 5 years, then it's like, if you don't make the NFL or NBA, whatever you do, it's like, hey, good luck. You know what I mean? So I think this part of it about learning business, right, and learning, how to pay taxes and how to do all this different kind of stuff and prepare you for life after college football. And that's what I want to get ahead of next year. Who knows what can happen? And I want to, kind of be a step ahead and already have some things I want to do.
As a quarterback, which quarterbacks do you enjoy watching the most on Sunday, and who was your favorite NFL player as a kid?
Man, so my favorite quarterback of all time is Peyton Manning. My second, the guys I like now, Russell Wilson. I love Russell Wilson. Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, guys like that. Guys who similar build, similar stature as me. Smaller guys playing really good NFL right now.
I'm sure you knew the history of the Florida State-Miami rivalry kind of before you got here last year. Getting such a strong introduction to it last year with how that game played out, how excited are you to kind of get the chance to go in again, this time maybe against Mackenzie?
I'm super excited, right? So last year, it's a big game, but we didn't have fans. So I'm super excited for this year. I know it's a huge rivalry. Actually, my freshman year high school head coach was Charlie Ward. So he played quarterback at Florida State, won a Heisman Trophy. Just joining the rivalry, it's a big deal. Obviously, one of the biggest games of the year for us. And it's a huge deal down in Florida, so I'm so excited for that.
How interesting is it to kind of match up with him after you all just did that deal off the field?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like I said, we have a good relationship, but at the end of the day, we go out there and play with him, it's war. You know what I mean? This is my dude, but he plays for Florida State, I play for Miami. So we're going to go out there and try to kick his tail. I'm sure they're going to try to kick my tail. So it's going to be a good night, good game.
The thought is that this is going to be